Hello there and welcome to Dartmoor. I'm just out and about today and I thought I'd do a little video just to sort of take you with me. Behind me is Westmill Tor. Now what I'm going to try and do today is I'm going to go Westmill Tor and then there's a little plain that goes between Westmill Tor and Yes Tor. It's a bit treacherous, there's a lot of bog there and things like that, so hardly anybody goes there. But I decided that I want to take you on an adventure. So I'm going to take you up Westmill Tor, across the boggy landscape, and then straight up Yes Tor, and then hopefully straight onto Yes Will Hayes. And it's a bit cold today. It's not too bad though, and there are people everywhere because, of course, lockdown's pretty much over now. So we're back to lots and lots of people being back up on the moors. And that could be actually an unpleasant thing, but I actually find it really reassuring because at least I know if I fall into a bog and get squishy down into the Great Grimpen Mire, that there might be somebody around to at least pick me up out of it again. So I hope you enjoy our little journey today, and I hope we get to the end. But if the weather changes or I run out of battery power, we might have to call it quits. But for now, let's go up some tors.
Okay, let's have a look at the map. So today I'm going up Westmill Tor, then pootling along to Yes Tor, I Can Boogie, and then across to High Will Hayes, which I accidentally called Yes Will Hayes in the last bit of the video. Anyway, that's all good and wonderful and brilliant, but then there's this bit here. This is bog. Oh, lovely bog. Yes, as you can see by the blue line flowing through, which is Redovon Brook, it's going to be quite squelchy at the bottom of Yes Tor, which is why very few people actually take that path, because they don't want to get sucked off. But because I like you and want you to have an adventure with me, I'm going to brave that today. So let's go back to Martin now, who's climbing the very easy Westmill Tor.
Tell you what, this is actually the easy bit of the hill that I'm walking up now. It really is. I'm going to try and show you now. This is the easy bit. There's nothing to it. The difficult bit of the hill is going to come when we get up there. See all that clitter? Yeah, it's a clit. Actually, there's clitter around here. Sort of litter, really, of rocks. And I'm going to be going over those. So wish me luck. Here we go again. So yeah, I think I can see around the corner here. There's quite a nice little path up. It sort of goes between. See if we can show it you on here. Can you keep that there? So there's my finger. It sort of comes over there, you see. I've discovered with this though that the viewfinder flips things. So I think I'm pointing one way when I'm pointing the other. Happily, I worked it out by that point. Oh. Hey, this is easier. Much easier. Hey. We're cracking on now, which is good really, because we've not got a huge amount of time today. And if I'm going to do 3 tours, which I'm beginning to think I might not be able to, I'm not being downhearted, but I can't help but think that I may have bitten off a bit more than I can chew, and whether I've got enough batteries on me to keep the camera going. There's the thing. There we go. Yes, I've got 2 batteries in my pocket. So we might be all right. Ooh, time to go up a rock. There we go. Right, we are actually at the top now. I bought you a slightly different route than I normally go. You may have noticed we just popped into a little, almost shelter on the tour. I don't think they're man-made, to be quite honest. I think that's just how their rock has developed over the years. And I think people have possibly added rocks and things like that. If I look down here, those look quite... They don't look natural, do they? And if you probably noticed, I took some footage on the way up the hill. That there's quite a lot of stone there that's obviously been drilled and split by human beings. There is actually a proper way of saying that. I call it drilled and split, but effectively what they do is they drill into the rock and then they sort of split it using chisels or whatever, and it makes it manageable. And all of Dartmoor really, it looks like a wild place, but when you cross it you find evidence of human civilization all over it. It's kind of fascinating like that. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to just go up that little area there, and then we're going to drop down, and then I'm going to show you Yes Tor. Well, here we are at the top. Lovely, isn't it? That over there is Yes Tor, and what I call the plain, which is all that in between us, is where we're going to go. Now, most people, when they're going up Yes Tor, whoop, get that right, they'll go up that side because it's nice and gentle, and yeah, it's nice and gentle and lovely. We're going to go straight up. Which means more clitter, and possibly my death. We'll find out. However, at the bottom, I'll show you that in a second, it looks like it's all lovely and green and verdant and dry, but there's actually a bog at the bottom there. So when we get to that bit, I'm going to need my big stick and I'm going to have to squidge it into the ground just to make sure I'm not going to go and get sucked off. Sucked off on Dartmoor. Right, let's press on up the next hill. This is my favourite bit of the walk. I'll tell you now. It's lovely and flat, it's warm, it's sunny. However, the first time I came up here, it wasn't the case. The first time I came up here, a fog descended on me when I was halfway between Westmill Tor and Yes Tor. I thought I was being pixie-led because I've been told about it the previous week. Now, pixie-led is when little pixies or piskies throw up a fog around you so you can't see where you're going and you go around in circles and possibly die by falling into a bog or something. The only way to break the spell is to find some fresh water and drink from it. And that happened to a couple many hundreds of years ago. And they found Fitz's Well, which is just above Oakhampton. And they drank from it and all the fog lifted. However, I have also been told that if you're wearing a coat and you turn it inside out, then the pixies don't know who you are. And that way, you get away from them again. There you go. Let's carry on. Okay, now I'm standing on the boggy ground here. Can you hear that? You might not be able to. I've got my wind muff on. It might be cutting out some of the sound. And this is the dangerous bit. I've got to find my way across now. If I can't find my way across here, I'm going to have to go all the way around. And we'll still get up the Tor. It's just be less dramatic. So, if I get sucked off, I might lose my boots. Right. It's actually, ooh, well, that's getting a bit too squelchy for my liking. You've got to be, yes, it's getting very boggy now, so I'm going to move back. It's a good tip on Dartmoor, is if you're feeling that your footing isn't sure, move back, get away from it. Okay, so I think I'm going to go a bit further around this way. I'll show you where I'm going now. You might not be able to see it, but just there is actually a stream. I'll get some video of it in a second. And as I say, if you want to see somebody doing this the proper way, go to Mr. Dave Rich's channel. It's Dartmoor Stomps. I'm doing it the insane way around. Okay. Right. I mean, we're quite lucky at the moment because we've had a few days rain, but it's not been as bad as it usually is. This is the wet side of the moor, you see. So normally what would happen about this time of year is you'd find yourself up to your knees in it. But I don't think I'm going to go any further this way now, because there is a definite sort of moat of bog. Oh, hang on a minute, I might be wrong. But then again, that's another trick that Dartmoor plays on you. You think you're getting somewhere, but keep your eyes on the ground. So all you've done is walked into another bog while looking at the one bog that you wanted to cross. And here is my footstool to get over. Oh, hee, done. Right, I just need to get up this massive hill now. As you see, quite big. Right, well, I'm quarter of the way up Yes Tor, Eichen Boogie. That's what I call it. Yes Tor will suffice if you're in the area. And I'm a little bit out of condition, but not massively. My heart isn't pumping like a maniac, it's just pumping normally, but I think it's psychological, because every time you come up here, you sort of you just see that peak getting further and further away, the top of the cairn getting further and further away. And at the top of Yes Tor, there's a flagpole, and that's used by the army to sort of pop the flag up to say when they're shooting. They usually put a red flag up. There's also a little tin hut up there. Not sure what they're doing that. Hope for the kiss. I hope the kiss. But I've had my rest now, so I'm going to keep pushing on, and I'm going to keep braking going up this hill. There's no reason, if you're going to be out and about walking, to walk like a maniac. Just chill out, especially on a nice day like this. It's true the weather could change, but at the moment it's lovely. So don't be too pessimistic about it. There are clouds in the sky, but they're not dangerous ones. Anyway, I'm going to give you some nice views from where I'm sitting. Oh, yes. You see, we're approaching some more clitter. See why people call this the difficult side, don't you? Rather than the amble up on a Sunday afternoon side. But you know, If something's worth doing, it's worth doing difficultly. Is that a word? Probably isn't. I'm usually good with words. Oh, well, I don't know if that is actually a piece of ordnance or whether it's somebody's bike. I think that's actually a piece of ordnance. Right, just stopped off for a wee then. There's always a flat standy uppy stone somewhere, even on the bleakest hillside like this one. And I found one, thank goodness. Because, you know, I'm bashful. Right, I'm sort of winding up the hill now, and as much as I feel I'm making progress, because I'm now into where the clitter is again. I'd like to apologise as well if you're getting a lot of wind coming up here, a lot of rumble. I'll do what I can in post to sort it out. But you see, I've got my fluffy mic on. There's my fluffy mic there. So I'm hoping that the fluffiness and my muff will cut out a lot of the wind noise. But we are up a tour on Dartmoor, so which is arguably one of the windiest places. I reckon it'd give Scotland a run for its money. Or some of the peaks in the Lake District. Oh, I love the Lake District. Well, let me just turn around and show you where I am. There we go. As you can see, as I turn, it gets taller, doesn't it? That's the Dartmoor for you. I can see the flagpole at the top, but it's not getting any bigger, because I'll get through this bit of clitter here. Happily, I've got a clear path through it, and then I've got another climb after that, and then another climb. This is more of a scramble. I'm keeping a weather eye on the weather because I have no idea what's going to go on today. The forecast itself is showing that it's going to be fine. Right, here we are. As you can see, that's the top with the flagpole and everything. So we're very nearly there. This tour has been very kind to us today, and it's been quite a gentle walk really. So when we get up to the top, I'll show you the view, but let's just see how far we've come. So I'm going to turn the camera around now, and it'll go blurry for a while. You see there in the distance, here we are. There's the flagpole. We're at the top, and behind me is a trig point. Love a trig point. So I'm going to walk up to the trig point and I'll get you some views. Right, here we go. Right, and I'll talk over this bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop the camera on the trig point and I'll show you where I can see. Right, well, I hope you can hear me in all this wind. That straight ahead of us is High Will Haze. There are folk walking to it right now. Now that's the highest point in Dartmoor. And you'd think, wouldn't you, that the bit we just scrambled up was the highest point, because that was quite difficult. But no, right over there, in the middle of the shot, is a little nunk that is High Will Haze. And we're going to walk over there. But what I'll do is I'll show you some of the wonderful scenery around here as well. Because it's all a bit cracking, it really is. Right then, onwards and upwards. Up High Will Hayes. I'll put my glasses straight, might see it better. We're out that wind now. And it's just gorgeous, it's hot. It's beautifully hot. I'm just going to turn my camera around just so you can enjoy the silence. You can't hear me wheezing anyway. Sorry, I distracted there by the niceness. Yeah, a chap just stopped me because he couldn't believe that Yes Tor wasn't the highest point. And I can understand that, I really can. Because when you look at High Will Hayes, it just looks like a sort of lump in the landscape. But it is actually the highest point on Dartmoor. I think it's a little bit... well, it's not an optical illusion, but I think the reason is when you look at it, you can look straight up to there's a sort of rocky outcrop up there. I have no idea if they're called outcrops, that sort of thing. I think people think that's the cairn at the top, but it's actually a bit further on and just a little bit higher up. And so if you're looking at that, then you can actually see that he's actually higher, but if you're not, then it looks like Yes Tor is a giant. I'm glad to have you on this walk with me today, I really am. I just keep stopping because it's so gorgeous. We've had such a lot of rain and even snow. So it's so beautiful just to sit here, or to stand here. I don't even know if I'm standing or sitting, you can tell. And just enjoying it. Well, that's a lumpy thing, isn't it? So, High Will Hayes, highest point on Dartmoor. Some cracking views. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get high up on there, and then I'm going to do you a 360. Let's go right up to the top. Oh, here we go. There goes a nice rocky cairn there. I really should have brought a rock up with me, but I kind of forgot. And the sun's reflecting off my screen now, which I've been looking at all day. Keep forgetting to look into the lens. So I do apologise about that. It'll be better when I do these regularly. Right, how do I get up here? With great difficulty. That's how I get up here. Right, scramble up. There we go. Oh. Well, here's my rocks. Rock, top of High Will Hayes, viewers of my channel. Thanks again for coming. I love you.